Hi dear students, dear friends, welcome to GALLANT IAS. Our heartiest congratulations to all who cleared prelims 2020 and our message to all those aspirants who couldn't clear this year. Don't worry, never ever give up. Take it as just an experimental round only. Please try to understand everyone has some strength and some weaknesses. This is an opportunity to find out our weaknesses and we will how to rectify it and be in pace with your preparation, whether you are writing this year or next year. Plan it like this: by December 2020 you will how to finish your mains preparation. Your optional, whatever your optional, history, botany, malayalam, sociology, anthropology, or public administration, whatever your optional, try to finish it. Your essay, your ethics, your GS 1, 2, 3. Even if you are giving next year, definitely by this December, yes, you must have a grip over your mains topics, main subjects. So here, it is always important to get an idea how each of these subjects in GS 1, 2, 3 or each of these topics in GS 1, 2, 3 to be GS 1, 2, 3 plus your essay to be prepared. That strategy is very important. What to study, why to study, and how to study. This idea must be very clear to you. History is one of the very core subjects in your civil service exam preparation. Almost 20% weightage in your prelims GS paper. When it comes to mains also, you can see history is not just limited to GS1. History can be asked in GS2. History can be history related, can be asked in GS3, in GS4 also. Gandhiji's 7 sins asked in GS4. Government of India Act 1935 asked in GS2. Or land reforms and their historical perspective can be in GS3. So this is something which overlaps, or because of the UPSC's interdisciplinary approach, a good understanding of history is important even for your international relations and security also. So coming to history, few things you take care. These 4 concepts are important when you prepare history for your mains examination. Of course, you must have a very good strategy. You must have a very good strategy of a history preparation for your mains examination. You should know where to trim, what to study, what not to study. That is very important. What to study, what not to study, how to study, all these concepts are important. Whether you must go for Spectrum or Shekhar Bandyopadhyay or Ubender Singh, R.S. Sharma or Biban Chandra, normal law, whatever. Okay, there should be a proper strategy of preparing history. Then of course, once you finish your syllabus, there should be, yes, sufficient time for revision. That is also very important for you. Revision matters a lot. Now coming to previous year's questions. Yes, this is again very fundamental to your preparation. I would say this is very fundamental because I personally know many students who faced difficulty in answer writing. But after 1 or 2 months continuous preparation and the constant feedback, they improved, and in the final exam they scored well. So when it comes to scoring well in your mains examination, be it history, geography, polity, whatever, GS 1, 2, 3, whatever, yes, of course, practicing previous year's questions is a must. There are lots of students who skip this area. They simply focus on learning the concepts. And they will say, in the final exam, I will practice answer writing. That will never work out. That will never work out. Right from the beginning, you practice solving the previous year's questions also, or answering the previous year's questions also. Get the feedback to understand the UPSC pattern, UPSC demand, and to improve your answer writing skill, its clarity, accuracy and speed, etc. Yes, this practice of previous year's questions is very important. You will have to practice from 2013 to 2019. Take the previous year's questions. 2013 main syllabus was changed and the new introduced in 2013. Then of course the same thing, previous year's questions plus practice of answer writing. Answer writing means I would suggest you practice previous year's questions plus UPSC standard. Okay, I am stressing on this element. UPSC standard model questions. UPSC standard model questions. This is very important because you must know few things there. Understanding the question. Understanding the question element is very important. Then there is like a structure of the answer is very important. Presentation of your answer is very important. And most important, definitely, how to write apt, accurate content. How to avoid deviations and distractions from your answer. So all these concepts are important, for which a good practice of previous year's questions, UPSC standard model questions, etc. is a must for you. And definitely the end part is, final part is, of course, test series. History and culture, I said it, the role of history and culture is definitely, that is in the essay paper. You have an essay paper of 250 marks, which is having section A and here section B. It's having section A and section B. It gives you choices. Now, the concept is, in the essay paper, you will have to write 2 essays. Multiple topics are there, choices are there. You have to pick one. So sometimes the topics will be related to history and culture. Or when you write an essay of 1,200 words, definitely you will have to bring in, or it would be always nice to bring in a dimension, a historical dimension of that particular topic, anything. Because essay, the content you will get from your GS papers itself. But its answering is different, or maybe writing an essay, okay, it has its own strategy. So anyway, history and culture related questions can be asked in essay, or any topics you write 1,200 words, okay. A paragraph of 50 words can be from historical dimension, historical perspective. Then GS1 definitely something around, that 100 marks, or maybe it is 120 marks questions can be asked from this history part in GS1. Then say GS2, definitely you have to study Indian Constitution, or maybe how the historical underpinnings of this Indian Constitution. You will have to study these international relations, India-China relations, or India and its neighborhood, or its bilateral groupings, international agencies. Sometimes the history oriented or historical perspective questions could be asked. Okay, so of course that part is also important. GS2 also you should have some historical knowledge. GS3, Indian security you study, or maybe biodiversity you study, or of course this inclusive growth or developmental issues you study, poverty you study, land reforms you study. Okay, so lots of things are there. Of course, land reforms, you should know what was that land reforms or during this British in India. What was land reforms in this pre-independent India, post-independent India. Okay, so here again you should know that 5-year plans. Okay, 5-year plans, and about India's liberalization policy, or its globalization, privatization policy, or maybe about economic depression, or about this inclusive growth, okay, developmental projects. So anyway, JS3 is there. I'm not analyzing the syllabus here, just I'm telling you it can be asked. GS4 also, you study about great thinkers, personalities, freedom fighters, their contributions, their ideas, philosophies, etc. So, and you are optional. So history is such a subject that it has huge overlapping with your prelims and with your mains papers, mains GS papers. Okay, so and again coming to optional, definitely the advantage is history is such a static subject, and the areas are repeated, topics are repeated. So of course this is the advantage of history. And how to approach history in the mains examination, you see, be the change you want to see in others. Gandhiji, this is something, an essay topic. Is the colonial mentality hindering India's success? Okay, so this is not exactly the history, but you should know the history. You should know the history part in order to answer such questions. Questions can be current affair related questions, or questions can be contemporary issues related questions, but without understanding the historical knowledge, without understanding the historical perspective, answering such questions would be difficult for you. Now here, coming to GS1, what is the syllabus of the history? This understanding is very important for you. Indian heritage and culture, history and geography of the world and society. See, simply saying, Indian heritage and culture, history, geography of the world and society. This is what the syllabus of GS1. We have already done the separate orientation sessions for history, world history or art and culture, mains, etc. And also a syllabus analysis is done. GS 1, 2, 3, 4 syllabus analysis is done. Such videos links are given below. You just click on it and watch it. So if you are a serious UPSC aspirant, this is very fundamental that you should know the syllabus of your prelims examination, your mains examination. Even in the midnight also, somebody comes and asking you what is syllabus, you must be in a position to say. So that syllabus, there is something which you have to mug up in this UPSC preparation, in the whole journey of UPSC preparation, that is the syllabus. You must have a clear-cut idea about what is the syllabus of prelims, what is the syllabus of mains. Okay, that syllabus must be very clear to you. You must be very thorough with the syllabus, so that whenever you read these current affairs, whenever you read articles also, you will get an idea where you can use that particular piece of information in prelims, mains. In mains means in social justice or in society or in security or in IR or in culture or in geography, whatever. So syllabus understanding, that's very important for you. And from history part of GS1, Indian culture will cover salient aspects of art forms, literature, architecture. This I have already done. A separate video I have already done. Yes, what is the syllabus of this art and culture? Art and culture cover from ancient to modern times. Art forms, literature, architecture, and their classifications and classifications. You have to analytically approach it. Modern Indian history from about the middle of 18th century until the present significant events. That means you cover from 1750s to 1850s. Then there is 1850s to 1950s. The 1950s to the current 21st century. Okay, we are almost till here 2021 or 2020. And so modern India means definitely take care from the mid of this 18th century AD to current events, current personalities. Of course, you cover till that, okay, until the present significant events, personalities, issues. That is modern India. Now, freedom struggle means various stages of freedom struggle, you know. Yes, moderate phase is there, then extremist phase is there, revolutionary phase is there, Gandhian phase is there. Post-independent consolidation, reorganization within the country. Okay. So there are different eras you cover, or at least this Nehruian era, Shastri era, or Indira Gandhi eras. What all the major events in the post-independence, you have to go through it. Reorganization or maybe integration of the state, partition and its aftermath, integration of these princely states, linguistic reorganization, okay, tribal consolidation, economic policies, 5-year plans, okay, industrial policies, emergency, lots of things are there which you covered, which is post-independence. History of the world will include events from 18th century. World history, I have done a separate session for you to know how to approach world history and orientation. So world history is also another blockbuster or maybe very interesting episode, just like movies. You are watching movies, you already watched Dunkirk and all, lots of movies you watched related to world history events. So world history is also important. Now here, what is the weightage? Look into this. This is the previous year's questions analysis. You can see how they asked questions from each area. From 2013, I said 2013 is the year UPSC changed the main syllabus, okay? 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. See, how many questions being asked from modern India? Modern India, 2 questions in 2019, 2 in 18, 3 in 17. Then see, 16, 3 questions. interdisciplinary. It's not just limited to GS1. Sometimes it is to GS2. Sometimes it is to GS4. So it is 2016 3, 2015 1, 2014 it is 2, 2013 it is 2. So let's say, yeah, we can expect minimum 2 questions from this modern India. Then freedom struggle, you can see how many questions being asked. That also, yes, expected 2 questions from this freedom struggle. Now ancient art forms, literature, architecture, medieval art forms, literature, architecture, modern art forms, literature, architecture, you see the weightage of art and culture questions. So that also you can take 2 questions. Okay, you can take 2 questions, minimum 2 questions from art and culture part. Okay, post-independence, you can see, I mean nowadays, 2013 5 questions asked, later you can see that it's sometimes it is nil or it is 1 questions. So you expect maximum 1 question. Okay, world history part also, you can see that either it is 1 questions or 2 questions. Okay, so let us fix it as 2 questions maximum. Okay, so this is something you see, it's something around, I mean you can expect either 8 questions or 9 questions from this history alone, history and culture alone. Okay, the questions can be 10 marker questions are there, 15 marker questions are there, 10 and 15 marker questions are there. Okay, it can be like this, maybe 8 questions, on average 8 questions can be asked from history and culture part alone. So that plays a very significant role in GS1, history, geography, society. These are the 3 broader modules in GS1. Okay, history, society and this geography. History means history and culture. So that is why you should give good weightage to this part. This is important for you. I mean, when you prepare history, let me tell you, modern India, you know that if they say that from this 1750s onwards, yeah, you start with the Plashi. You start with the Plashi. And when you start with the Plashi, you should know, yes, why Plashi happened. Okay, why Plashi happened and what were its causes and consequences. Okay, from there you have to go through, yes, after Plashi there is British East India Company's introduction, the rule, dual administration. Now British East India Company, you should know how they consolidated the rule in India. Okay, through their various carrot and stick policy, their diplomatic policies, and through these violent wars, how they consolidated. You should have an idea about various governor generals, viceroys, and what kind of the reforms they executed for this British East India Company's consolidation here. Yeah, you have to go through their administrative reforms, educational reforms, political reforms, military reforms, civil service reforms, social reforms, and their policies, their constitutional reforms, etc. You have to go through. British colonialism and their, of course, what was its character, or how these different social classes affected by British colonialism, and what were the consequences of British colonialism. You have to go through. Okay, major social movements or tribal movements or these religious movements or civil movements in India during British rule. Their economic policies, their agrarian policies, industrial policies, their financial policies, trade policies, you have to go through. Then there is next episode, which is 1857 Revolt. You have to analyze the character of 1857 Revolt, different grievances of the different social groups, the participation level, or if why it failed or to what extent it was successful, all its limitations, its achievements you have to go through. You must have a critical analysis of the causes, consequences and achievements of this 1857 Revolt. Then coming across this growth of Indian nationalism. Growth of Indian nationalism, various factors contributed to growth of Indian nationalism. Then various personalities, their contributions, various events you have to go through. For example, Ilbertville controversy, the role in promoting this nationalism among Indian minds. Then there is formation of Indian National Congress, early phase of Indian National Congress, then extremist phase, major events during their time, revolutionary phase, major events during their time, and their analysis. Then Gandhiji, early career of Gandhiji, South African experience of Gandhiji, the various ideologies, philosophies of Gandhiji, and now Gandhiji in India, his initial programs. Then there is national programs of Gandhiji. And to British responses to various movements in India. And finally, the final episode of this freedom struggle, 1930s, 1940s, and major events, their critical analysis. And finally, freedom of the nation. Then post-independence, world history, art and culture, all these things you have to study well, cover well. Yeah, I don't want to show you further things here. This is a quick analysis. And let me suggest to you, if you are following here, we GALLANT IAS provide you like very comprehensive, at the same time compact study material for your prelims, mains, along with the classes. But it is not a compulsory thing for you, whichever you follow. My best suggestion to all of you is, don't ever follow any guide. If you are trying to learn history from factual point of view, that will be a wrong strategy. This year also prelims, you might have seen 20 questions being asked from history. And those who simply tried to by heart the fact and figures of history, they got trapped in this examination. Most of them were concept oriented, application based questions they asked. So my suggestion to all of you is, try to understand the concept. Try to analyze the major causes, consequences, and enjoy learning of history. And don't ever go for by hearting the facts and figures. If your strategy is like by hearting facts and figures from history, that will trap you. Okay, so don't follow the guides. Best thing is, try to understand what are the best resource books or best reference books available for that. For example, Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, I suggest you Plashi to Partition. Of course, that's a good reading, but at the same time, it has also some missing, so that you will have to go for Biban Chandra, you will have to go for B.L. Grover. And for art and culture part also, many sources are there. But I would suggest you, again, my humble suggestion to all of you is, limit your sources. Limit your sources, limit your, there's like a number of the reference books you study. Because if you widen this, if you have loads of reference books, the problem is, you will never get the time to revise. Also, you will take long time to finish each subject. So the best thing is like, yes, limit your, or maybe you focus on the quality classes or quality material, or maybe whatever the best sources available, and give a good number of revision. Okay, give a good number of revision. If it is for modern India, you take Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, I would suggest you, many things are very good in that, many parts are missing there, but give good number of revisions. Anything which you say, I mean for culture or for this history part or for world history, all this GALLANT IAS is providing very fine material. But it is your choice, you can go for whatever your method of strategy or your preparation. So what I am telling is, you try to limit your sources and you try to give maximum revisions and practice the previous year's questions and practice UPSC standard questions for mains also. Okay, take care that until and unless, I will tell you, if you are not ready to practice, then there will be no miracles happening in the final exam. Practice well, because it's a big challenge. Yeah, 3 hours time is there, 20 questions are there. Some 10 marker questions, some 15 marker questions. So 3 hours only time. And 20 questions are there. Total marks is 250. And your biggest challenge is at least you have to score 100 plus in GS 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it's 110, 120, 125, whatever, 130. So scoring that, that matters a lot. Because you have not only history in GS1 means it is history, society, geography. Multiple types of questions will be there, culture. So solving them in a time-bound manner, word limits are the 200 words, 250 or maybe 150, whatever. In a time-bound manner, answering all 20 questions within that particular prescribed time limit, 3 hours, that will be a real challenge for you or to you. And in order to be successful in that, right from now onwards, you have to practice well. Okay, that's my suggestion to all of you. So take care. And the detailed analysis I have done in the session, I mean in the regular class programs. This you just get an idea what all the significance and why you have to prepare, what you have to prepare. Get an idea. That's it. Wishing all the best. Thank you.